All right, we made it. Where are we?
We're in Taormina.
We are in Taormina. After
beautiful hilltop town. It's dark. We'll see it tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. What was supposed to be a 6.5-hour train journey turned into like 9 hours, somewhere around there.
Yep.
The first train was delayed, but we still got on. And then after the ferry, it got just halted. Like all the electricity went off, and we were just sitting in the dark in the train for probably 30-45 minutes without knowing what was going on. And then we finally got to the station, and they were like, oh, well, the train's canceled. So then we had to get off and wait for another 45 minutes for another regional train to come pick us up. And then when we got to the train station here, there were no taxis, and there are usually taxis. So I had to ask around, and I found like a tour bus, and I paid the driver to let us on and take us to the city center. So, but we made it. We're here. A few hours late, but we are here. And now we're just going for a wander.
Yep.
All right, so little update for you.
Yeah.
In Taormina, we were gonna spend one night here, rent a car, and then we were gonna start our little road trip. Got to the budget car rental, and they say, oh, we have no car for you. We're like, well,
Actually, they said we're not even open until March 1st.
yeah, even though we rented the car.
And Expedia let us book it.
Yeah. So, we're not driving to Syracusa anymore. We're gonna stay in Taormina for a few extra hours that we didn't really think we were gonna have. So it worked out well. And then we're gonna just take the train to Syracusa and then try to rent a car in Syracusa. And that is now the plan. But have a look at this view.
Not bad.
Not too shabby, eh? So, little history lesson. Taormina was initially settled by the Greeks. It was an ancient Greek vacation city for wealthy Greeks. So they actually built a theater here. So there is an old Greek theater, and that's where we are right now. It's just a few stairs, nothing too crazy to get up here, and it's absolutely fantastic. Here, why don't we take a look? Peek over this wall. Look at that. Imagine sitting in the stands a couple thousand years ago, watching whatever they had going on down there. Again.
Veruca, darling. I want to go to Deuce.
Mom.
I can feel better up there. Twisted fluting. Trajan Hadriatic phase, 2nd century AD. Okay. So that was a little later. This isn't normal.
As with all the touristy little towns in Italy so far, in the middle of winter, it is pretty slow around here. However, it is such a popular tourist destination that there are still a good amount of people walking around the main streets and stuff like that. But a lot of places are closed for the season. So if you do come here, just expect that.
Don't expect to be able to go to Bambar.
Yeah, Mom wanted to go to Bambar and get
Granita.
her granita, but unfortunately they are closed for the season. So, you know what that is?
Huh?
It's an excuse to come back.
Yes. And not book through Expedia.
Yes, that is a lesson that we've learned today and yesterday. Here we go, the Duomo of Taormina.
Il Duomo.
Il Duomo.
Anno domani. 1,000.
if you can see it very well in the camera, but Mount Etna is right over there. See? You can see the snow.
It's pretty active right now, too.
All right, after some of our minor travel inconveniences, we are excited to have a full day here in Syracuse. It's bright and early. We actually kind of relaxed, slept in a little bit because we've been setting our alarms every day.
But it is bright.
But it is bright and sunny. It's beautiful. And we got a big day ahead. We'll show you around Syracuse.
This whole piazza is so beautiful.
All right, we made it to the street market in the morning. It's only open until 1:45, so it shuts down pretty early every day of the week. The old market, like the antique market or whatever it's called, is only open on the weekends. So we're just here during a weekday, so we're at the regular street market where a lot of locals go and get their stuff. It's pretty cool. You have the market on one side and ruins on the other.
Just some ruins.
No big deal.
Your run of the mill.
You know, they're everywhere.
Massive columns, Greek temple ruins, you know.
Mom got a market orange, a mandarin, and she's super excited. I did the talking. She was a little nervous about that part.
You get them. You get them for me. I eat them, you get them.
Yummy? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Dude.
So much fresh food and so much seafood too. Lots of seafood around. It's just seafood and fruit. Pretty much seem to be the main thing. Oh yeah, we'll check out some of this seafood up here. Ooh, let's have a little stroll, huh?
€10 carciofi, €3,50. 10, €3,50 carciofi.
It is a lovely winter day on the island of Ortigia. We're sitting here, relaxing, just chilling, having a little snack,
Eating candy,
drinking a
orange peel.
little Aperol Spritzes, and eating. What are you eating?
It's candied orange peel, and it's called scorzette.
Yummy.
And then these little things, which are kind of wheat tasting, but I don't know what those are called.
Delicious. The market that we visited was over there, and there are some ruins, but we're just relaxing, taking things slow, and having a lovely day. We are at the Cathedral of Syracuse, the Syracuse Cathedral. It is the Duomo of the area, and it's absolutely magnificent. Can't even get the whole thing. Let's go in and check it out. Mom's already up there. There she is. Buongiorno, mama. Fish. Oh, tickets. Out for a nice little stroll by the water. It's lovely, lovely. Gotcha. We have arrived at the very southern tip of the island at Castello Maniace, I believe is how it's pronounced. €5 to get in. We're gonna explore this old fort. It looks absolutely fascinating. We have a little peek at the outside. Quick little history lesson. The fort was built in the 11th century. The initial fort on this location was built in the 11th century. And then a couple hundred years later, what we see now was built in the 13th century. It withstood a bunch of invasions, and a couple hundred years after that, it was actually used as the home of multiple different Sicilian queens, which is actually a pretty cool fact.
I'm the Queen of Sicily.
Mom's the Queen of Sicily now. Yep, and then in the 15th century, it was used as a prison. And then after that, it was renovated in order to be able to use guns. It's underwent quite a few different renovations and many different uses over the past couple thousand years, or over the past 1,000 years rather. But still really cool chunk of history.
Enter the Queen of Sicily. La Reina di Ortigia.
So right now we're in a part that they built later on for gunners, right? So when people were coming, they would lift up the old planks, obviously set in here, but then you have a nice little window to peek out of.
And to get your foes.
Bang, 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 bang. It is a nice view though, when there aren't attacking ships coming to destroy you. So I think actually these were for cannons, right? Because we see the stone laid right here, and then an arc along right here, and an arc up here. So I imagine they had the big cannons pointed out there, out the window, and then they used this as a track to go back and forth and aim the cannons. I think that makes a little bit more sense than smaller guns. It was for artillery. Very cool. Here we are on the top, and as you can see, all the walls are just tall enough to protect the average man from incoming fire from the ships that would have come from south in the Mediterranean or northeast from the Ionian Sea. And a little thing that's fun as well, Mother's been enjoying this quite a bit, but all throughout this fort there's little bits of graffiti from the past 150 years and before.
1890.
There's one from 1890. It's got names in it. Some of them are even you know, a boy's name and a girl's name, just like they like to do on tree trunks today.
So this one's like 1880 something, like a 2 or something.
Yep.
Let's see, here's 1890 something.
18, or is it 1819?
189 or 188 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, people were doing graffiti, which they weren't supposed to do, but it's still cool for me.
Yeah.
I cracked it open.
That was okay. Do it. Yummy.
The first cannolo. Stacchio.
Delicious. Delicioso. Good. My first cannolo in Syracuse in Italy. They have ricotta cream and dark chocolate and white chocolate. All right, we are saying goodbye to our nice little Airbnb that we've stayed in for the past couple nights. We are leaving Syracusa and we are going to Palermo today. We're going to stop at a rental agency and pick up our car and drive there with maybe a couple little stops on the way. And Mother will be driving the whole way, mostly, because my driver's license is floating in the Daintree River in northeastern Australia somewhere.